Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Binky here today with a new scent. Yes, a new day, a new scent. Life is good. So there you go. We're going to be going with Electric Wood from 1015. I know, I kind of like this. You just put it at the bottom and it's exciting. It's the little things. So yes, this one I'm sure is going to have a woodsy scent to it. But it is new production, new design. Latest batch features bold, fresh look. So there you go. They've changed the packaging recently. So the notes are nutmeg, lemon, sage, cedarwood, oak wood, and let me do this again. The heart notes are nutmeg, lemon, and sage. There we go. The heart notes, cedarwood, oak wood, and base note, ambroxan, iris, and musk. Ah, the ever-present musk, which just makes my life interesting. Because musk loves me, and I don't necessarily love musk. So, a potent fusion of wood's earthy warmth, the distinctive tang of lacquer, and the subtle hint of metal. I'll forever carry with me the vivid memory of the day when I eagerly lifted the lid of a guitar case, unveiling its content for the first time. It was a proud moment etched into the early 90s, a period colored by unique charm and allure. So there we go. Basically, it has to do with guitar. Now, the person who created this line is a musician, so it's very dear to him. And so electric wood makes sense. Interesting. I love those memory perfumes. So this is really right up my alley because I love memory perfumes. If I could live in those, I would. Because I love beautiful memories. Can't smell too much from this. Now, I love cedar, and I can spot it a mile away. So, let's see. This one's lighter. Very light compared to Holly Rose, was it? Whew, that one was a little bit, yeah, Holly Rose was a little bit stronger, but the notes make sense. This is very different, of course, because it's wood. Definitely getting that wood immediately. This one is lighter. This one is much lighter, and I feel already a little bit more wearable than Holly Rose. I can see how Holly Rose is a little bit more, I think it's a little bit, you know, you either really like it or you don't kind of category, where this I can already see already is a little bit more pleasing to the masses. So what I am getting is definitely that wood smell. I'm definitely getting that cedar. I love cedar. I don't know why, I do like it. But I'm definitely getting that wood. Whew, yeah, it's a double blast of wood. I actually have a guitar right here and it does smell like that. When you open the case, you pull out the guitar and you start tuning it, you're like, yeah, So I am getting that woody scent from the guitar, which I love. I love, so it makes sense. And you're also getting that freshness of the lemon. So the wood, I know there was cedar. I could smell the cedar, but there was another type of wood too. Definitely getting that lemon. What I will say is that this is a very gentle scent. This is, I tend to go off of what I've already kind of reviewed on my channel a bit. Yes, I know more perfumes than that, but you know, it's like a journey here. So if I were going to bring up a similar line, this would almost fall in line with Aloria, which I just, well, it was not the one I just finished, but that I did earlier. And it's one of those kind of gentle scents. This is a me or hugging somebody scent. That was strange, but that is what it is. You can hug yourself. I just did. It feels great. There you go. You gotta love yourself first. So it definitely has that woody smell to it, but it's very light. It's very right here. It's a very personal scent, which is interesting because I didn't really expect that from room 1015. And by the way, from my understanding, that represents like a room where a lot of things happened in rock and roll. People busting up rooms. I read that quickly and was like, that's why it makes sense. So basically, this one stays very close to the body. This is a very gentle one, where Holly Rose was in your face, unapologetically. This one is very gentle. Where that was in a studio, kind of a ruckus, old, dirty studio, this is more one of those gentle moments where you're just, maybe it's a rainy day, or maybe you've had a hard day and you just start strumming the guitar gently. And it isn't the electric. I mean, it is electric wood, but for me it's the acoustic, and you're just, okay, I need to go through the I need to do this. I need to play the guitar and sing it off and get out of here. You know what I mean? It's just one of those private, quiet moments. Maybe there's a rainstorm and everybody's inside and it's just quiet. That's what this is. This is more of a reflective, soft scent. Definitely getting that wood. Ooh, that smells nice though. Oh, that's lovely. It truly is lovely. So I'm getting that wood and lemon, but now a sweetness is coming through. And like I said, I always rattle off those notes and I never know. I'm not getting the nutmeg. No, I lied. I am getting that nutmeg. I just didn't pull it out, but when I actually look at the notes, yeah, you do. You get the lemon and the nutmeg. So it's cedar and oak wood. Oh, that's beautiful. I know the cedar. It's just you definitely get those different types of wood. That is nutmeg. You know what it reminds me of? It is not the same, but it reminds me of Harvest Mouse from Zoologist a little bit. Yeah. The difference is that it smelled a little bit more, it was sweeter, but it had kind of a hay effect with like a nutmeggy kind of cinnamon scent. I always put nutmeg and cinnamon together because they're very close combination when you're baking and things. So it isn't the same. It isn't the same because the wood notes are way stronger. There aren't really wood notes in Harvest Mouse of Zoologist, but it is that same category. That's interesting. Of the two I've tried, they fit into that almost Zoologist vein a little bit, if that makes sense. This one is weaker than Harvest Mouse, if you know Harvest Mouse, but it's not as strong, and I don't mean that in a bad way. The other one was like the band getting together and listening to records, Holly Rose, while this one is just that reflective, silent moment by yourself. So if you're one of those people who likes gentle scents that most people aren't going to smell, except for you and those in your personal bubble space, this is for you, and it's lovely. That doesn't diminish it at all. If you want it to be a little bit more powerful, you're going to have to spray on more, and to be honest, these notes don't lend themselves to a powerful scent. And that's okay. You don't always need that. This is beautiful. But let's try it on this shirt here. Interesting. More lemon here. It's more lemon and a sweetness. A sweetness pulling through with the wood. So it's sweet lemon with wood underneath. Chemistry is just pulling up a lot of wood. Wood and nutmeg. Wood and nutmeg with a little bit of lemon. That's lovely. Really not what I expected. Because of yesterday, I expected them all to be a little bit loud and brassy. Nah, not with this one. Wow, that's beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check back in an hour, because these do tend to morph a little bit more than the last series, which was Sniff, which didn't. So we'll check back in, see how this is doing, because sometimes even though a scent is light in its appearance, it doesn't mean that it dissipates quickly. So I do want to test that for those who are interested. So see you in an hour. Okay, so it has been about an hour. Very gentle. You can still smell it. Again, it's about the same level. It didn't lessen. But I do want to say this one's very much a close scent, which, like I said, isn't necessarily a bad thing. I'm still getting that wood scent, which, I mean, that's kind of what you expect with it, but let's test it out on the arm. Okay, so on the arm, I'm getting the wood and nutmeg, and a little bit of that musk is coming through. What I like, because my body really loves musks, is that it isn't overwhelming. Sometimes the musk can just overwhelm everything on my chemistry. So this is really nice because it isn't. I love that. So, yep, definitely that wood. Cedar. The cedar is the main one. The oak's a little bit more tame, not tame. I feel like oak is just a little bit more neutral in its scent than cedar, which is a little bit brighter. So it's this beautiful bright woodiness to it with a little hint of citrus to it and just a hum of musk. And it's really quite refreshing. I love it. It's not refreshing. It's more just, I don't know. It's just, it's woods, but without being woodsy. Like, it really does remind me of a guitar. It really does. But let's try it here on the shirt. Okay, so on the shirt, it's definitely woodsy. You get that wood more. I'm getting that. And that's predominantly what I'm getting at this point on the shirt, is just that woods. So yeah, very interesting. So this one hasn't morphed too much. This one stayed kind of what it is. It is very light, but I'm curious to see where it goes because that musk is starting to come out a little bit. So I'm curious. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to check back in either in 4 hours or when it's pretty much done and needs a refresher, just so we can kind of clock that. But yeah, see you in a little bit. Okay, it has been 5 hours. And this one is very delicate. So in that it never was a powerhouse to begin with. And right now even it's just staying very, So there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I think this is for somebody who doesn't want a powerful scent. You know, they want something that's a little bit more delicate. And just know not everybody wants the same thing. Some people want really strong fragrances with a lot of silage and longevity. Well, you know, other people are like, I don't want that. I don't want to bring attention to myself. I want it for me. That's what this scent is. And it really didn't morph too much. I think the main thing that I got from it was a sweetness, almost like a resin scent from it with wood. So a sweet, you know, like cedar wood being the main component with oak. I get that, but mostly the cedar with a sweetness. And cedar to me is kind of just sweet in itself, but this one had a little oomph on that. But let's try it on the skin. So on the skin, it's actually very sweet. It's very sweet, almost like a berry kind of sweet with a little bit of musk. What I like about this is the musk never really came through, because with me, if there's musk in something, my body loves those scents and it just overtakes everything. That never happens with this one. So it's sweet with a little bit of musk. On my chemistry, very, very light. I'd say it really started for me becoming really gentle around the 4 hour mark. So that's pretty much for me the cutoff, but I can still smell it on my clothing. But as far as my chemistry on clothing, I still smell it a little bit more, but let's see where it's at. It's lovely on the shirt. So there's still that woodiness to it. The citrus is gone, so you get the wood, the cedar, a little bit of that sweetness, but the floral finally came out. And I think it's iris. I can't really tell what flower it is. I just know there's a floral because it's very light, but I get that beautiful wood with floral now. That's really beautiful. But like I said, you're going to need to kick it back up by spraying again, and you'll lose that floral note. At least I did a little bit. Maybe your nose will pick up something different, or your chemistry. You never know, but that's what I'm getting from it. But it's a beautiful scent, very beautiful scent, very delicate, very nice. Really, really enjoyed this one. And I did mention that it was very much like, to me, it wasn't very much. It reminded me of Harvest Mouse. After an hour, it definitely moved away from that, if not sooner. It was just the initial spray, so that was just kind of interesting. But just because I used that one again yesterday, because I'm still working on my zoologist ranking video, so it was fresh on my mind a little bit, so that's why. But definitely two different scents. But this one I feel like is truly, I mean, everything's unisex. These are advertised as unisex. Always wear what you want. But I think this one truly, sometimes people will look at notes and go, this is more masculine, this is more feminine. I do really feel like this one could go either way. I do. I really do feel it's like right there. It's like sometimes you'll have florals that sometimes people are like, oh, but people equate florals with feminine more. I mean, wear what you want. I don't agree with that. But this one definitely is right in that middle. I feel like it's right in that pocket of just, yeah, of just unisex. But they all are. So wherever you want. This one is a little bit more delicate. I think this would be beautiful this time of year. I think that it would be delicate. It's great for fall, great for summer. It might get lost in winter or late fall, depending where you live, because it is a gentle scent. But again, that just tends to be what you prefer. So if I were going to give this one a rate, it's been a long day. If I were going to rank this one, let me see, what would be the score that I would give it? I think I would give this one, I do like it. I feel that it's very delicate. It's very beautiful, but I would give it a 7. Not because it did anything wrong. A 7's a great score. And again, this is based off of what I want in my perfumes and what I want in my collection. But this doesn't mean that you would score it the same. The reason is because it is a little bit gentler than I like in my perfumes. I want a little bit more oomph with it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's lovely. I actually will say that I think I may slightly like it a little bit more than Holly Rose, but it's just that it didn't have strength to it. So that may be a little bit of reason why it got dinged. So when I rank these, just know that they may shift. They're not going to be ranked based off of scores that they get. There's other reasoning behind it. If it was a little bit stronger, I would probably kick this up to about an 8.5. I think it's really lovely. It's really gentle, and it fizzled kind of quickly for me, but that's just me. Yeah, so I think just know that I may love the fragrance more than another one, but it only may get a lower score because of other reasons, like longevity and things like that. And I want this one to have just a little bit more oomph. I want just a little bit more, and I love the scent, but it was always very gentle. And for me, I like a little bit more power. That being said, it's a beautiful scent. And if you like a more delicate scent, this one's lovely. So it's beautiful. So yes, that is, it really is. I'm smelling it right now and I'm like, this one's really beautiful. I just wish it was a little bit stronger, but I am getting whiffs of it. So it's kind of not fair. But so the next time we meet, we are going to be looking at Yesterday. Yeah, I wonder if that's based off of a certain song that's one of the most covered songs in the history of mankind. Do a little research and see. And with that, have a fabulous day, my friend. Bye.